Hello guys, today we will be discussing about factoring, and make sure you listen closely to the discussion that we're going to have today, and don't forget to take down notes. Alright, see you in class. Mathematics Online. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and the notification bell for your daily class updates. Hello guys, good day. Today we are going to discuss about factoring. Now before we're going to proceed to that, we are going to review first on how are we going to expand brackets. Alright, so brackets should be expanded in the following ways. Alright, in the following ways. For an expression in the form of a times b plus c, how are we going to expand bracket? What we're going to do is, first thing that you're going to do is distribute. Alright, you distribute. What are we going to distribute? We are going to distribute the variable or the coefficient outside the bracket. So therefore, in this expression that we have here, the result when we distribute a inside to b plus c, the result will be ab and plus ac. A will be multiplied to b and a will be multiplied to c. Now let's have a example here. If we have if we have 2x times x plus 3, using the first step that we're going to have, it means we distribute. So what are we going to distribute? We distribute the one outside the parenthesis to the one inside the parenthesis. So it becomes, our expression becomes 2x times x plus 2x times 3. Alright? So therefore, when we are going to find the product of that, so therefore our step 2 here means we simplify. So after, after we multiply it inside, then we look for the product of it so that it will be simplified. So if we have 2x times x plus 2x times 3, the result will be 2x squared plus 6x. Alright, 2x squared plus 6x. Now you have to take note, guys. Once you're going to multiply two variables like x times x, the result will be x squared. So in this example that we have here, we have two x's. So the result is x squared. Alright, so our final answer in this scenario is 2x squared plus 6x. So why do we have to expand bracket? We have to expand bracket so that we will be able to eliminate we will be able to eliminate grouping symbols. And what are these grouping symbols? These are brackets. Alright, again, when we try to expand bracket, the first thing that you're going to look at and the first thing that you're going to do is take the first step. You need to distribute. Once you distribute, and what are we going to distribute? We are going to distribute the one outside the parenthesis to inside the parenthesis by using the operation of multiplication. Now once we're done with that, the next step that you're going to do is to simplify. Alright, to simplify is to find the product. Now once we find the product, then we have our new expression. So again, why do we need to expand brackets? So that, all right, so that we will be able to eliminate grouping symbols. That's the reason why we need to expand product. Okay, so now we're going to proceed to our lesson for today, which is about factoring. Now, what is factoring? Basically, factoring is just, all right, factoring is just the reverse method of expanding brackets. So you get now the idea. The whole reason why we need to go back and review about expanding bracket, because factoring is the reverse method of expanding brackets. Alright, so it's the other way around of expanding brackets. Alright, it's the other way around. Now let's have an example for that. Alright, if you have 2 times x plus 3, alright, if we use expanding brackets, we distribute 2 inside the parenthesis. So therefore, our new product and expression will be 2x plus 3. And this is in expanding brackets. Now, if we're going to do it on the other way around, or the reverse of expanding bracket, we're going to use this here. So we write alright, so we write 2x plus 6 is equal to. The first thing we're going to do is, in the previous discussion that we have, the first thing that you are going to do is look for the common factor. Alright? First step is look for the common factor. Now, in this case, what is common between 2 and 6? Alright, what is common between 2 and 6? So, there is always a 2 in 6. So, therefore, we are going to use 2 as the common factor. Then what we're going to do is we divide that, and this common factor here, we're going to write it outside the bracket. Now after we divide 2 divided by 2, the result is x. Copy the sign plus 6 divided by 2, the answer is 3. And we have now an expression inside the bracket. And now this is what we call factoring, or this is called factorizing. Alright, so the first one here, okay, the first one here is we have an expanding bracket, and the other one is we have factoring. So therefore, the way you do factoring, it is just a reverse or the other way around of doing expanding brackets. Again, don't forget, as in a previous discussion, the first step that you have to consider in doing factoring is look always, alright, always look for the common factor. This is always, alright, this is always the first step in doing factoring. Alright? Okay. After, we're going to look for the common factor, and if we can't find one, there will always be another scenario with that. I'm going to teach you how to do it here. Now, what is FOIL method? Factoring using FOIL method. Now, what is FOIL method? Alright? What do you mean by FOIL method? Alright, FOIL method is a technique Alright, FOIL method is a technique for distributing two binomials. Alright, by distributing two binomials. So, what are binomials again? Binomials are equation inside two brackets, a plus b, I give you an example here, plus a times a plus b. This is your first binomial, and this is your second binomial. So again, what is factoring? What is the use of FOIL method in factoring? Because FOIL method is a technique. Remember the word, technique. In distributing at least two binomials. So that's what do you mean by FOIL method. So basically, FOIL method is just an abbreviation of 4 words. Alright? FOIL method is just an abbreviation of 4 words. This is, we're going to separate the 4 letters of FOIL, which is F-O-I-L, and then we define every letter. Now, F stands for first term. O stands for outer term. Then I stands for inner term. And the last one, L, is last term. So, FOIL method basically stands for F for first term, O for outer term, I for inner term, and L for last term. Now, we are going to use this in our example. Alright, let's have an example. Alright, let's have an example. If I have here x plus 2 times x plus 5. Alright, 2 binomial. We're going to use FOIL method. Now we're going to write here F-O-I-L. Okay, now F stands for the first term. The first term of the first binomial and the first term of the second binomial. Alright, and this is our F. So therefore, it would be x times x. Next, O stands for the outer term. Means to say the outer term of the first term and the outer term of the second binomial. So we have x times 5, and this is now our O. Alright, so it becomes x times 5. Next, we go for the inner term. The inner term of the first binomial times the inner term of the second binomial. So we have 2 times x. This is now our inner term. So if we're going to write it, it becomes 2 times x. Alright, next, last one, the last term. Last term of the first binomial and the last term of the second binomial. And this is now our letter L. Now our FOIL is complete. So therefore, the last term would be 2 times 5. Next, we simplify every letter. Now, x times x is equals to x squared. x times 5 is equals to 5x. 2 times x is equals to 2x. Next is 2 times 5 is equals to 10. Now there is a certain rule in solving FOIL method. Alright? For O and I, okay, for this two letter here, a certain rule. Alright? A rule. A certain rule that O and I should be combined. Alright? O and I should be combined. Combine means addition. Alright? Addition. So you combine using addition of integers. So in this case here, 5x plus 2x, we already know in our previous lesson with integers is that that a number with no sign is considered to be positive. So therefore, in this case, when we combine them, 5x plus 2x, or positive 5x plus positive 2x, the result is equals to 7x. Alright, the result would be 7x. Now, we combine the 3 and it gives us x squared plus 7x plus 10. Our final answer for x plus 2 times x plus 5 is x squared plus 7x plus 10. If you're going to look at it, guys, this is also another way of eliminating brackets, because the final answer becomes a trinomial. Alright? Again, FOIL stands for first term, outer term, inner term, and last term. Where are we going to use this? In solving at least two binomials. Alright? And then we just simply distribute it inside the parentheses and we apply FOIL. And then when we have it, alright, when we find the product of this, alright, find the product of this, and it gives us a final answer, which is a trinomial. This is what FOIL method is all about. Again, FOIL method is just the reverse of expanding product, and it is a technique for distributing two binomials, and this is also one way to eliminate. Alright, FOIL method is also one way. Alright, going to write it here. FOIL method is also a way to eliminate brackets. Okay, remember the rule, one rule of FOIL. Once you have remember this, alright, you need to combine. Okay, you need to combine. Once we combine, it means addition of integers for letter O and I. Again, first we reviewed about expanding brackets, because this is a let's say the starting point, so that we will be able to learn how to factor out, because factoring is just the reverse method of expanding bracket. It's the other way around. Okay, now there's a special way of doing factoring, and we call it FOIL method. FOIL method is a technique for distributing two binomials. This is how we simplify two binomials, using first outer, inner, last term, or we call it FOIL method. Now, the FOIL method, usually it comes out in an answer in a form of a trinomial. All right, FOIL method is also a way to eliminate brackets. All right, guys, that's one way also to eliminate bracket. So if you have any question, feel free to comment down, and I'll be happy to answer your question about how do we expand bracket and how do we use FOIL method and what is FOIL method, right? So all right, now what we learn about FOIL method. Next, if you are given, I'll give you another example. All right, now if you are given x squared minus 7x plus 10, and you are asked to factor this one out. Now, factor, it will give you a binomial form, two form. All right, you should be able to make this into this. This trinomial should be inside the bracket. So how are we going to do this? The most common method that we use in this trinomial is, the first one is, we call it trial and error. How do we do trial and error? First is we find the factor of the coefficients in the trinomial. All right, trial and error. First, find the factor of the coefficients in the trinomial. So what are the factors that you're going to have? In the trinomial, you have x squared, you have negative 7x, and you have positive 10. Now, we list down the factors of x. What are the factors of x? Then we have x times x, correct? What are the factors of 7? Or what are the factors of 10? 10 has the factors of 1 times 10 and a factor of 2 times 5. Oh yes? Now, in trinomial, guys, the middle term is, all right, the middle term is the sum of the factors of the third term. Okay, the middle term is the sum of the factors of the third term. So therefore, it is very important to know which of these will give us 7. So if you have 1 plus 10, that is 11. All right, now if you have 2 plus 5, this one, if you add this one gives us if it is, we have 1 plus 10 and it gives us 11. Well, the other one, you have 2 plus 5 and it gives us 7. So the one thing that we're going to use is we use this. Yeah, so therefore in this case we're going to use 2 times 5. Now it becomes negative, right? Negative. and the answer would be positive. So therefore we have two options again here. We follow the multiplication of sign. We have positive times positive, it gives us positive. Negative times negative, it gives us positive. Correct? Now if you have negative times positive, it gives us negative, and positive times negative, it gives us negative. So in this case, if you have a negative 7x but we have a positive 10, so therefore negative times negative, it gives us positive, and negative plus negative, it gives us negative. So therefore the product that we're going to use here would be negative 2 plus negative 5, which gives us 7. Alright, negative 2x, and this one is negative 5x, and it gives us negative 7x. So therefore, if we're going to look for the factor now, okay, for the second one, means we now simplify in a binomial form. So if you have x squared, which is equals to x times x, so therefore if we have this one here, so we are going to write here x times x. Now what is the factor of positive 10? It could be negative 2 times negative 5. So therefore we have here negative 2 times negative 5. So therefore our final answer is the factor of, alright, the factor of x squared minus 7x plus 10 is equal to, alright, is equal to x minus 2 times x minus 5. So this is now the factor of x squared minus 7x plus 10. Okay, now how are we going to know if this one is correct? We check it. Now the third step is check. Alright, check your work. So we're going to write here x minus 2, x minus 5. We use, how do we check? We use FOIL. So we have x times x. Yeah, we have here x times x. This is our f. Next is x times negative 5. So we have here x times negative 5. Okay. Next is, this is O. Next is we have inner. So we have negative 2 times x. The last one is we have last term. This is L. This is I. So we have negative 2 times negative 5. So we have here x squared. So we have negative 5x, negative 2x, and positive 10. Next, we review. Okay, we go back to this. Remember this thing here? So that's what we're going to do here. So we are going to combine the two. So it gives us negative 7x. So we simplify this. So we have now x squared minus 7x plus 10. Now our trinomial is just equal to this and to this. Alright, so therefore our factor, that is this, is correct. Alright, so therefore our factor of for this is correct. So remember the 3 steps on how to find a factor. First thing that you do is you use trial and error. The next one that you're going to do is you simplify in binomial form, and then so that you will know that the answer is correct, you check it using FOIL method. Alright, you check it using FOIL method. Alright, you have to remember, guys, again, the middle term is the sum of the product of the third term. Alright, so I hope you don't have any question with this, and I hope our discussion today is clear. If you want, let's have another one last example. Alright, let's have one example. Okay. Example 2. If you have x squared plus 6x minus 16. Alright, we go for the steps. First step is T&A, trial and error. So first we find the factors of x squared, which is equals to x times x. Next is the third term. This is the first term, and now we have negative 16, which have the factor of, make sure, guys, that we are going to have a middle term of 6, right? So therefore we have 1 times 16, 2 times 8, yeah, we have 4 times 4. These are the factors of 16. Now 16 here is our third term. Alright, 16 is our third term. Now we have to combine. Okay, again, you remember this here, remember here. Okay, sum of the factors of the third term, that's the middle term. So therefore we just have to, if you're going to add 16 plus 1, the answer is 17. Cannot. If we have 18, we have 2 times 2 plus 8, the answer is 10. 4 plus 4, it's 8. But if you're going to subtract 1, 6 times minus 16, that's 15. But 2 minus 8, the answer is 6. Now we have a great chance with this. So we are going to use, alright, we're going to use this. The only question is, how are we going to add it that the answer will become positive? Yeah, the answer becomes positive. So therefore, we have here 8 plus negative 2. Alright? Okay. Now we have 8 minus 2, the answer is 6. 8 times negative 2, the answer is 16. So therefore, this one is equals to 6 positive. And if we have 8 times negative 2, the answer is negative 16. So therefore, we have now our second term. Alright, we have now our second term. So therefore, we go for the second step, which is simplify it with 2 binomials. Now we have now second step. Second step. Now we have 2 binomials. Yes, Now we go for this x and x. Now we use this, right? We're going to use this, so therefore we have negative, therefore we have negative 2, yeah, and positive 8. So therefore our binomial is this. Okay, our binomial is this. Alright, this is our binomial x. This is now the factor. This is now the factor of x squared plus 6x minus 16. Now we go for the third step, which is checking using FOIL method. Alright, so we're going to write FOIL method. We have FOIL. Now we have x times x, and we have x times positive 8. Next one is negative 2 times x. Next is we have negative 2 times positive 8. We have x squared. We have positive 8x. We have negative 2x. And we have negative 16. And then we combine this. 8 minus 2. The answer is positive 6x. Then we combine the 3. And we have x squared plus 6x minus 16. So with this, we can see that this one is equals to that. So therefore, the factor that x minus 2, alright, here x minus 2 times x plus 8 is, therefore, this one is correct. So we were able to prove it by using factoring. Okay, and the method that we use to check whether our factor is correct, we use the word of FOIL method. Okay, so this is how you are going to factor things. We use trial and error. Yeah, we use trial and error. Second, we simplify it in binomial form, and the third one we check and we use FOIL method. Look at the two examples. I hope all of this is clear. FOIL method is clear, and don't forget there will be worksheet attached to this, and make sure you will be able to answer it and submit it on time. If you have any question, feel free to ask, leave a comment, and I'll be very happy to answer your question. Again, we discussed two things today. How do we review about how do we expand brackets. Alright, we review about how we expand bracket. Alright, we follow two steps, which is distribute and simplify. Next is we discuss about factoring, which is the reverse of expanding bracket. Now another method that we use in solving factoring, we use FOIL method because it is one technique. And then we define what is FOIL method, and then we have example that would lead us to use FOIL method. So I hope everything is clear, and I hope you're going to do our practice worksheets. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thank you.